Trek has updated the reward, so it's actually worth doing the fog rolling in Easter egg on Shattered Veil now. Previously, there was no point in really doing it beyond this being a fun gag, which is obviously a reference to Jason Blundell's infamous quote from the Origins trailer.
Dynamic weather, from rain, fog rolling in, snow falling.
So without further ado, let's get into how you actually do this. So this is going to be quite a lengthy process. The first thing you want to do is you want to head over to the service tunnel, and you need to make your way through where the gameplay is showing in the background. And there'll be a baby vermin just at the bottom of the ground here, underneath this vent or whatever it is, and you can press square X or F to pick it up. After you have collected the baby vermin, if you come back to the main chamber and look in this barrier, you'll see a sign saying danger high voltage, with a sign below that tells you what you need to do for the next step. The graphic is random every single game, but there are 3 different colours of chemical bottles. You have pink, green, as well as orange. And you will see that there will be black droplets coming from each of them, and essentially this is telling you the order that you need to shoot these bottles in that is going to be the next step. The drips will always be 1, 2, and 3. So this has 1 drip for pink, so I know that's the first one I need to shoot. 2 drips for orange, so I know that's the second one I have to shoot. 3 for green, so I know it's the third one I have to shoot. So either remember that or have a friend remember it for you, write it down or take a screenshot. You don't have to remember it for long though, because they're literally right by here, still within the mainframe chamber. You just want to come up to this desk, and you want to press square X or F to interact with it, and it will place the vermin on the metal tray. You will see surrounding the tray are a bunch of different bottles, and whilst the bottles are not coloured on the outside of them, the chemical inside is. So on screen right now you can see which one is associated with which colour. So from the order I had before, I know I need to shoot the bottom right one, then I need to shoot the big box of chemicals that have blue lids on, and then finally I need to shoot the biggest bottle that is next to the little one I first shot in the corner. After you've shot them in the correct order that's assigned, the vermin will begin emitting a yellow hue in the tray, and you can then interact with it to pick it back up. After which you need to go back inside Colton Hall and come over to the west hallways, and there are 3 locations for microwaves here, which you can see the locations for in the gameplay in the background, and you can place the vermin in any single one of them. It doesn't matter which, so don't worry about that. After you place it in the microwave, you just need to leave it for it to finish cooking, and the colour will transition from yellow to red, so just keep a watch for it until it turns red. Once it does so, you can go back up to it to collect it. After which you are now going to need a Wunderwaffe DG2, so if you don't have one, you can do the side Easter egg during the main quest that I have a link to a video in the description on how to do, or you can get it lucky from the mystery box, or using Wunderbar, whatever the case may be. You now need to head back down to the mainframe chamber, and if you head into this tunnel, you will find that there's a big patch of red blood here on the ground, and you can interact with the blood to place the red vermin down onto the patch. Then you want to look above the red blood, and there is a fan up here, and you need to shoot it specifically with the Wunderwaffe. This will cause it to begin sucking up the red parasite up into it, so you'll see it fly up, and then it will cause the fan to start misting red smoke. The blood, the essence of it, and this has now infected the entirety of Colton Hall's ventilation system, because if you now come outside, you can see that there is red smoke coming from all of the chimneys, which is quite a cool sight. Now you need to get a chopper gunner kill streak, either lucky through the mystery box or buy one from a crafting table, and you now need to enter the chopper gunner, and you need to shoot every single one of these red chimneys, which shoots off flares or fireworks into the sky. So just keep shooting them, taking them all out, and if you are successful and manage to shoot all of the chimneys open and lit off all of the flares, you'll get an indication noise that you are done with this. After which, when you spawn back on the map, fog will begin rolling in, encapsulating the entirety of the map, and purple dark ether crystals will spawn all over the map too that you can get loot from by breaking open. However, they will give worthwhile rewards this time instead of just armor, salvage, equipment, etc., which is pretty much all you got before, making it completely pointless. So there'll be a bunch of crystals, and basically the fog will not last forever. It will only be here for a certain amount of time before it rolls back out, about a minute or so on the map, and you need to try and crack as many crystals as you can to get the ultimate rewards, because if you are successful, the 8th crystal will grant you a blue ether tool and a Pack-a-Punch tier 1 crystal. The 16th crystal will grant you a purple ether tool and a Pack-a-Punch tier 2 crystal. The 24th crystal will give you an orange ether tool and a Pack-a-Punch tier 3 crystal. Now, this Easter egg is still quite lengthy to do, and these rewards are definitely worth it now, as you can do this in about a medium amount of rounds, between 10 and 20. It's mainly the Wunderwurf that makes it so you take a while. Now, with the Gobblegum changes that they recently made, so it only has a 5-second cooldown, which is absolutely ridiculous, you could do this on a much lower round now, but if you're using Gobblegums, you would be pretty much set up anyways, just spamming through them. But I hope this creates a trend for Treyarch where they continuously carry on updating Easter eggs when the rewards are poorly received, because it surely isn't that big of a task to code in better rewards when the community is just not satisfied. There are so many Easter eggs like this and many more in the past that are just so tedious and arduous to do, and then you do it and then it just doesn't even give anything. So all of the side Easter eggs, it's very important that they all have decent rewards, and the community's been showing very good reception to Treyarch making this one a lot better, so I'm hoping they follow that on board with future Easter eggs. If they do make the mistake of poor rewards in the future, they can always fix that with a patch just as easily as they have done here. It gives you a reason to go back to old maps as well and try them again. Even adding additional Easter eggs post-launch I think would help mix things up a bit. And the dialogue you get whilst doing this references Jason Blundell's infamous quote directly.
After all, this fog rolled in so quickly. I fear we may have been lost to some kind of Appalachian devil's triangle. It's more than a little fog to throw me off the very guess game I had been making.
And if you didn't know about the fog rolling in quote, it derived from transit. Obviously, people hated the fog and they hated venturing into the fog and getting attacked by denizens. And then Blundell brought up the quote offhandedly in the Origins trailer. And I think this is referencing the denizens because the Vermin babies look very similar to the denizens. So they're probably related to the Dark Ether evolutionary process. Obviously, the denizens were human-made, but nevertheless, it's all the same, really. Tampering with the ether. And this only lasts for about a minute or so on the map, and then the fog disappears. Anyways, that's everything here. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.